Do you have somebody recording you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I started.
You are. Okay, good. Ready?
Good.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Hey guys, so you should all know by now, but my name's Delaney, and today I'm going to be talking about music length over 35 years and how perhaps our attention spans may have affected the shortening length. So, 2 weeks ago, I was doing my homework with a friend and listening to music, or listening to my favorite, which is 80s, and he mentioned how long the songs were, and I'd never really thought about that, so that's how I came up with this topic. And I'm going to talk about the history of listening to music, song lengths over the decades, and why the length has changed. So, really you guys should just listen to me because I love music. I've played cello, I have thousands of songs on my phone, I listen to music all the time, yeah. So, first, I'd like to talk to you about the different methods, particularly vinyl records, cassette tapes, CDs, and digital or compressed music. So first, we have vinyl records, which were invented in 1887, and actually, so they've been around for a long time. And actually, you'll notice on one of my slides, I have song length that goes farther back in time from the 80s, and songs were actually shorter then because they could only fit about 3 to 4 minutes on a record, because to have the correct sound quality, you can only have so many grooves, and this was the size that they had back then most commonly. So this one has a 3 minute and 25 second song on this side and a 3 minute and 50 second song on this side. So then we move on to cassettes and your cassette Walkmans, and they first came out in around 1962, and you could get them most commonly I've seen in either you get like a whole album, or you can get a 60 or 90 minute one that you can put your own music on, or this one that I have just has 2 songs, so it has a 4 minute and 37 second song on side 2 and a 4 minute and 42 second song on side A, or side 1, sorry. So then after that, then we got our CDs. Once again, you still had your CD Walkmans. Those were super cool. I had one of those. And a normal CD holds about 45 minutes, because once again, it has to do with sound quality and how they're printed, which I still don't exactly understand, but like when you burn a disc, it burns it around it just kind of like a vinyl record, and then the eye will read that. So we have that. And then finally, we have our digital, which actually CDs are digital, but most people when you say digital think of this, or compressed music. And we had our MP3 players first, which you kind of just could put your music on, you skip through it, and you didn't really get to pick the songs. Then you moved on to your iPods, the shuffles and the nanos, so then with the nano you could actually pick what you wanted to listen to. And then we decided that we needed fancier stuff that we could hold pictures on and go on the internet, so then you got stuff like the touch or your phone. And 4 minute song on average takes up 4 megabytes, just so you know about song size. So next I'd like to talk to you guys about song length over time, and here's the one I showed you where it was shorter, and then as you see it goes up, and the average songs are kind of up higher in the 80s, and then they come down again. So back in the 80s we had an average song length of 4 minutes and 28 seconds, and I figured this out going through the top 100 songs, and I took the times of them and then averaged them out. So yes, and the average song intro was 20 seconds, and as an example here we have a song that most of you should probably know that has the perfect 20-second intro. Oh. And right at 20 seconds, he starts talking. He's singing. So now some of you, that might have been painful, because you know what? You're born in the era where it's not a 20-second song intro anymore. But then we move on to the 90s, which I didn't find what the average song intro length was, but their average length was 4 minutes and 3 seconds, which, if you notice, the last one was 4 minutes and 28 seconds, so we dropped 23 seconds. Then we move on to the 2000s, where we actually went up by 3 seconds on average, which I find kind of interesting, and was 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Now, today, from 2010, I went till 2015, the average length is 3 minutes and 55 seconds, and the average song length intro is 5 seconds. So once again, we have a song that probably you've heard too many times. It might be annoying. And 4 seconds she actually starts talking. Alright, so now what was the cause for this? Why did it change? Well, our mode of listening changed. So, I mean, with these, you don't really just skip through songs and whatever. You put the album on, you put it at the beginning, and you listen through the entire thing. I mean, if you're feeling into if you want a specific song, you can, but it's not something you do. Same with cassettes. You listen to the whole thing. I don't know if any of you guys have tried, and I used to be able to do it with one single cassette when I was younger. I knew exactly how long to fast forward it to get to certain songs. But otherwise, it's difficult. And when you had your Walkmans, which took batteries, I was reading an article by Christopher Berglund, and he talked about his experience and how, when you're a college student, you don't want to pay for batteries, and fast forwarding and rewinding and stuff takes up, uses the batteries more often, and then you have to pay for batteries. So you listen to whole songs, and you don't get bored of them, and you do that. So, yes. Then, so there I was kind of talking about attention spans, and our attention spans, apparently, according to the Time Health and some, they surveyed 2,000 people and did 112 EEGs to see what the people's attention spans are, which is the amount of concentrated time on a task without becoming distracted. It's 8 seconds. It used to be 12 seconds in 2000, but now apparently it's 8 seconds, and it's shorter than a goldfish. Crazy. So that might play into listening to music and you just want to skip songs, you get bored. But actually, I was kind of interested in this. So I did a survey with adults over 25 and then college students. And actually, it's not very different, and I'm not sure if it's just because times have changed and adults also listen to music the way that we do, but most people actually listen to whole songs, but there are still quite a few who skip because they're like, oh yeah, I'm bored of this song already, we already listened to the chorus, we're done. So that might be the reason for it. But overall, through all this research, nobody really knows why song lengths shortened. There's so many different variables, there's not one thing that we can pin and say this is why they have, but they have. So today we talked about the history of how we listen to music, the song length, and why this change occurred. So thank you guys for listening, and hopefully next time you're in your car or doing homework, you can be listening to your music and realize what length it is.